18 seconds. Foster off the screen, gets another one. Pulls up from three-point range. Good! Oh, my gosh! 34 for Shane, tied at 74. Rhodes guarding him, so they run the back door. Alley-oop slam Shane Foster. He's got 36. 84-80. Shane Foster, long three, nailed it. Timeout. Oh, my goodness. Shane Foster with 39. And that was another 30-footer. 7, 6, 5, up top Foster, 4, Shane for 3, go! Oh! 0.7 to go, here we go, Stewart, down court from midcourt, launches it at the buzzer, it's so good! It's so good! The Vanderbilt Commodores have rallied to beat Mississippi State, 86-85. There's no words to describe what he just did in the second half in the overtime. Shane Foster, 42 points, 9 three-pointers, all in the second half in overtime. I'm telling you, I have not witnessed something like that in basketball in a long, long time. What an incredible performance.
Well, a lot of people remember the shots that I made, and I tend to remember the shots that I didn't. And in the first half of that game, I was 0 for 6 from 3 and only had 6 points at halftime. And it was our senior night, and I was looking at my teammates, and they were looking back at me saying, we need you. It was an amazing, really, synopsis of my entire life, because there were times, certainly in my childhood, where it felt like I had gone 0 for 6, that things weren't working out, and it wasn't that I was a terrible person or a bad kid, but things just weren't going my way. You know, if you remain faithful and dig a little deeper and not give up and be persistent and try to overcome, then sometimes you can. And that's what happened in that game, where I was able to hit my first three-pointer, and then I had turned around and hit another 7 after that, finishing that game with 42 points and hitting the game-winning shot. And it was just a testament of my life and my faith. And then it was an opportunity for me to make sure that everyone knew that even in my highest moment, having done something that very few people get to do, that God is still first in my life. And that's why you saw me pointing up.
I can't wait to play in the NBA.
Getting drafted to the NBA was certainly a dream of mine. When my name was called, it was certainly a surreal moment. It had my family and my best friend there with me at that time, just celebrating and thanking God for the opportunity to accomplish a goal. But then the other side of it was that, you know, in my thinking, particularly as a kid, my dream was to get drafted. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago I realized that my dream was to get drafted. My dream was not to be an NBA player. And that was something that became very apparent to me, because the purpose for my life was much bigger than basketball. It was about making a difference in other people's lives and using that platform to make that difference. And so while I did get a chance to accomplish that goal, once I did, it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be, because that wasn't the totality of my dream. That was just a part of it that was necessary in order for me to do what I'm doing now. I'll never forget, I was in Dallas, and I found myself in this club, and a guy came up to me and he said, "Hey, you're Shane Foster." And I said, "Yeah, how's it going?" He said, "You don't remember me, do you?" I said, "No, where should I remember you from?" He said, "We went to church together in New Orleans." And it pierced me so deep, because I felt like I was living something that wasn't me. Like, yeah, I was there, I was hanging out with everybody else, but it wasn't my core. It's not my purpose, you know. It's not what I aspired to be. It was in that moment that really I was able to make a decision. Do I want to be the guy that people recognize in the club, or do I want to be the guy that people recognize in the community? So I had just finished playing ball and decided to retire after 6 years playing professionally, and came back to Nashville and was approached by our former CEO about this opportunity to lead an initiative that was engaging men to end violence against women and girls. Unbeknownst to me, it would become a real passion of mine, considering the experiences that I've had, not only in my own family, but even with friends and with colleagues and former teammates and coaches and all over the world, where you're actually making a difference in the lives of young men and boys, and hopefully making a huge impact in the lives of women and girls, as our goal is literally to make Nashville the safest city for women and girls. Prior to now, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation being had about these issues. There wasn't a sensitivity to these issues, and in many cases it was shut down. But now we're able to have the conversation and able to really create some measurable change as we're having not only the discussion, but also putting into practice skills, tools, things that can make sure that these workplaces are not only safe for women and girls, but where women and girls are also valued and respected. I think about the impact that I've been able to make on the athletic side of things, but people are more proud of what I'm doing now than they were of what I accomplished on the basketball court. And I'm able to use all of those gifts and talents to now further a mission and really galvanize this entire city around making this the safest city for women and girls. 1 out of every 4 women experience domestic violence. 1 out of every 5 women are sexually assaulted. 1 out of every 6 women are raped. I have a mother. I have sisters. I have a wife. I have colleagues. I have friends. I have women and girls who I drive past on the street. I have neighbors. Everyone in our world deserves a world where they are not only safe, but valued and respected. And to think that that's not happening for women and girls really sucks. And we have an opportunity and a responsibility to do something about that. And it's not as hard as one might think. It's really as simple as us beginning the process of talking, of understanding, of learning, of being vulnerable, of sharing, of being open to change. And really a change that not only will increase the safety and well-being of women and girls, but will also lead to the liberation of men and boys. Because when we're shut off from love and care and emotion, then there's so much of life that we're living without. And so I think it's time for us to change, not just for women and girls, but for all of us.